Hello, everybody, and welcome to this afternoon's race between BuzzThunder and Tristal. I'm Digshake, and I'm joined by the one and only Angry Larry. How you doing, Larry?
I think I got athlete's foot, but otherwise I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well.
Got to get in there with a ruler right now in my shoe. Probably should just take it off. I am home.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. I need to talk to the racers here for a moment.
Yeah, no problem. I can continue on talking about this athlete's foot and stuff. But we're gonna have a good race today. A couple of good players here. BuzzThunder, no stranger to the randomizer. Tristal is pretty good in his own right. Really excels in other randomizers, Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior. He plays those a lot more than I've seen him play at Zelda 2, or at least racing in a race condition. But certainly, both these players were actually little-known fact here. In the well-known video where I make that jumpless in Palace 2, the voices you hear in the background are BuzzThunder and Tristal.
The well-known Larry jumping video, yes.
Yeah, but thanks to Rez and Unos, that's been taken from me. I am no longer that guy.
Well, I mean, it's a good trick to know how to do, especially if it lets you skip Bagu, right?
It says the guy who swears he's never even going to try it ever.
Probably not.
Yeah. Good guy.
So, Larry, I gotta ask going into this, I mean no disrespect to Tristal when I say this, but I think it's pretty safe to say that he's the underdog here. So, do you think he's gonna change his strats accordingly or take some gambles that he might not otherwise take, or?
No.
No?
And here's why. We have never seen a runner do this yet, this tournament. As you pointed out earlier today, not that we know of, has anybody ever played differently based on skill level, playing up or playing down. But also the fact that, hey, listen, you want to play your own game and do it how you're most comfortable doing it. And BuzzThunder has been trying to be more like Digshake and adding time. I'm serious, and adding time to his average. So he might not need to, honestly.
I am going to pause Tristal's stream here to try and sync up these runners. I'm going to pause it at 32 seconds. I'll let you know when I get started again.
All right, let me know when it's at 34.
And 34.
All right, we see Buzz is in Medicine Cave, and Tristal found the right side of either. Both players found either the right side of Parappa or Fairy Cave. They didn't move in a little bit more to see which one it was, but grass tile for Tristal there.
Yep, and he's going to pick up a child. So an early kid pickup there for Tristal.
One of the reoccurring themes also. We should mention that boulder in front of that cave right there. So one item cave is going to be inaccessible. One of the recurring themes of this tournament so far has been spell items and their location.
Those spell items have been pretty tricky, which is kind of surprising to me. You technically only need 2, maybe 3 spells to beat the game. And so for those spells to be blocked so frequently seems like just like the randomizer knows we're in the middle of a tournament, so it's throwing some extra trolliness at us or something.
And if you're wondering why this tournament as opposed to last time, well, last tournament, spell items could only be in a set, predefined location. Palaces excluded. Mm-hmm. And here you can find them in palaces or pretty much anywhere, so the chance that they're in an area that you normally wouldn't consider looking for them is greater than last tournament for sure.
And a great early pickup for Buzz, finding the boots in Trophy Cave, so that's going to make this seed go a lot smoother in terms of overworld exploration.
Yeah, absolutely. You never want to be playing late in the game and think you have arrived at all your items, and then all of a sudden Great Palace is boot blocked, or the 6th Palace is boot blocked.
So Buzz found Death Mountain there and poked around a little bit. What do you think about the Death Mountain strats, Larry? Are you going to stick your head in the caves, or are you going to just get the heck out of there?
In this particular situation, one cave, I'm looking at it. It's more than likely an elevator cave. I didn't assess the height above Link when he entered that room to see if it was the one with the ledges. But it's on my mind. I'm not going in it, but it's on my mind, and it's there.
So each runner finding the item that the other runner has already found, and we're basically still neck and neck at this early stage. So for those of you who might be new to the rando, we are looking for 5 item caves, of which we've already found 2. We're looking for the grass tile, which we've already found, and we're also looking for 4 towns and 3 palaces in this western continent.
More importantly, the runners need to be aware of the segmented, how the continent's segmented, and how to get to the other half or third of the continent, or depending on how many times it's segmented, to arrive at those caves and such, if they can't find them in the starting area.
Yeah. And there's a early, we'll call that the candle bag, in the medicine container cave there. That's if you're gonna find a candle bag, now's sort of the time that you want to find it, to see Buzz cash that in.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with an early candle bag, early pea bag. Get those attack levels.
We're also gonna grab our first spell of the game here in Raru. And we got jump.
Buzz checking the graveyard tile. It is Fairy Cave.
And the reason that people do that is because there is one graveyard tile that has a smaller item on it, which could be a pea bag, could also be a jar, or what do we call those? Little diggers?
Little diggers, yeah. Tristal's on his way to get the pea bag.
I think Tristal's kind of a wild card in some ways. He's actually very good at playing video games. He's a very well-known Dragon Warrior randomizer runner. Just not as experienced at Zelda 2, I think, is why he's considered an underdog in this particular race. But he's got skills. There's no doubt that he's got video game playing skills.
So all these caves in the grass spot, they're all accessible in the starting area. No one took a cave through, right?
Nope.
All right, so that leaves Peabag Cave blocked by the boulder, because Buzz is in Heart Container Cave.
So no terribly, well, I guess the boots. Other than the boots, no terribly useful items right out of the gate. They're either going to have to start digging Death Mountain or these palaces, which we don't even know what these palaces are yet.
No, there's one right by Heart Container Cave, and I was going to ask you if anybody's poked their head in there yet.
Not that I've seen.
I feel like they did. Yeah.
Nope.
Buzz is going to go there now. Jump spell for Tristal. As soon as Buzz gets it, both players are going to have the ability to grab Downstab.
So that's Palace 2 that Buzz just found. Now depending on what that second spell is, we'll probably see him go into Death Mountain first, because unless that second spell is Fairy, they have no way of really getting through key doors yet. That's been another thing that's been happening a lot in this tournament, having to dive into Death Mountain to get the raft, or in this case it could even be the magic key or the trophy or something, for all we know.
The raft?
Yep.
You said the raft first?
I think so.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I tuned you out, and then I was like, all right, you're talking, maybe I should listen.
Angry Larry, everybody. He's here all week.
Yeah, I'm just warming up. Pacing myself. Again, jump spell in the first town as your first spell is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that's not a bad spell to find. It's one of those things in Rando where if you find it early, you're happy, but if you find it late, you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, it can kind of go in that P-bag category. Of course, runners would want Fairy so they can get downstab and go through doors, but, first spell, not going to complain about jump. That's for sure.
So we're going to put these boots to work and dive onto the second half of this continent without having to take a cave.
Yeah, Buzz doesn't scroll the screen south there. So for all we know, that could be a dead-end forest, or it could be a forest that is segmented. Well, it's not now, but...
Did Buzz see the rock-blocked cave? Did he see that one?
I believe so. It was like right in the starting area.
Well, look at that boulder right there.
That's a good boulder, because you never know what's behind it. There could be a spike tile, and then you can cross right through into the middle of the mountain. But I must, with every little jab at you, I must compliment you on that bridge. It connects 2 pieces of land. I see our raft tile there, and we're going to get our second spell, Tristles and Saria.
Yeah, and our second palace. It's going to be Palace 5. Shield spell and Saria. So these runners more than likely are going to have to go dig an item out of Death Mountain here. An early challenge. Which reminds me of something that Tristal was talking about, actually. I was talking to him the other day, and he was mentioning how people were questioning why he would go into Death Mountain, since the typical meta is, you know, save Death Mountain for last, since it can be a big time sink. But in this case, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna probably be going in there anyway.
It's really one of those decisions. It's only right or wrong once you know the item, where the item is, what the item is. And, you know, it's the right play going in there if it's the raft and the glove. It's the wrong play going in there if it's, you know, the horn and the cross.
Fortunately, they can get downstab before diving in, which is going to make a pretty big difference.
Mm-hmm. And Buzz is taking the long way out of town. That's 1.5 little Z heads longer, the direction he's going. Now, Tristal found 2 towns, one next to Saria. Was it both halves of Saria there, or was it Mito?
It was Ruto.
It was Ruto,
yeah.
okay. So we've just only not seen the back end of Saria and one other palace, because we saw the raft spot.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, are you hoping for this last palace to be 1, so you don't have to consider jumping into other palaces?
Possibly. However, you do have to kind of keep how the randomizer works in mind. The randomizer is not going to force you into 1 without Farrier the Magic Key. So, actually kind of a gamble to go in here. It's possible for the raft to be in 1, but you'd be basically skipping the Magic Key or spell item in Death Mountain if you manage to get in there and get the raft.
Is that true?
That's true. We know for a fact right now that either a spell item or the Magic Key is somewhere on Death Mountain. Oh, well, no, it could be the raft, actually. It could also be the raft. And I suppose the hammer is also in play, since we have those hammer-blocked items. Nice key grab by BuzzThunder there.
Yeah, definitely a good key grab. He's going to need it in the next room, and one of the things you could... There are more keys than doors in Palace 1 with these flags. And one of the things you'd probably want to do is bank keys, but that was his only key he grabbed. He can possibly run into another room that needs a key right here. Mm-hmm. He does not. He's got options, though. He's got a down and a right. The down could lead left, and if it does, it's either on the path to a key or a or the item. Well, we got more options now. So you want to find those key rooms in a row, and then the rooms with the doors, you want them kind of both to block one direction leading to one key.
Yeah.
And make out of here with the item, kill the boss, and here's a room that needs a key. The item, kill the boss, and like bank a key would be awesome.
Meanwhile, Tristal is kind of poking around a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what he's looking for. Probably the last palace, actually.
Yeah, that was in the southwest, I believe.
Now, has he found Death Mountain yet? I don't think I've seen him.
He banged into the first entrance, the one that
Okay.
only had one cave, but I did not notice if he was in that second entrance or not. Buzz spent a little bit more time there poking around, but
He's also going to hop into one, so...
yeah, going left here could yield the item room that he needs a key anyway, but it can be the room with the bridge where he can pick up a key, and
Yeah.
it's not. It's the item room.
Or that dead end that's got a key on the bottom as well.
Yeah, so there were a couple options for it, but
I think he's pretty safe, though. He's got one right path to take, and that's either going to lead him to Horsehead or the bridge room or that right dead end with a key in it. So he's going to be able to get a key.
and it's Horsehead. So here, Dig Shake. Do you take this key and go to the item room?
It's an interesting question, Larry. Horsehead's pretty close to start. Actually, if you really wanted to be safe, you could take that key and unlock that other door that we saw, because you know there's two keys behind it. The bridge room and, or maybe actually three keys behind it. The bridge room and both dead ends. And that way you'd be guaranteed to get the item and place the gem. But Buzz is going to place the gem and go back in. Is there a path that we missed?
Well, there was the path right that was blocked. There was a path left that was blocked by a key, and then there was the item room. I don't really think there was.
Did he go left at the ferry room? That was the door, right?
I believe that was the door, yeah. And then down was left that led to the item.
Oh, there's a right path right here, actually, that we missed.
Did we, or is this the first locked door? No, it's not. It's the key. There you go.
Yeah, so that'll let him get the item. The bridge room must be on the other side of that key door, so there's two keys behind that key door.
Yeah, will he understand this palace enough to know that he can grab an extra key? Would he want to waste his time, or would he want to just get the item and leave?
Yeah, I don't think I would grab that key.
But both runners are in the same room at the same time.
Virtual fork. Is that what we call it?
I think that, yeah, some people do make names for everything, yeah, and that's one of them.
So it'll be interesting to see what this item is. I mean, it could literally be anything, but Buzz wants it probably to be the raft.
If it's the raft, you know that the item in Death Mountain or the item is blocking Fairy then, right?
Or is the magic key.
Magic key.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that. We already know that the item in Death Mountain is the magic key or
Yeah, that's
something blocking Fairy. So this could actually hurt him if he doesn't come to that realization and just gets the raft and goes out. But if it's something garbage like the cross, then I'm sure we'll probably see him go into Death Mountain. I don't know.
He might jump into 2, actually. Because remember in his first race, he was kind of wounded by the time it took not to arrive at the items in 1 or 2 and backtracking for them.
Well, that's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, if you're going to up A, yeah, then I guess he just got dig shaked. And he'll just up A and move on. It's insulting and wastes a key. Well, he's going to totally up A. He might take this first Death Mountain path, or he's just going to go over to 2.
Yeah, they're both kind of near start.
I don't know. I really think that first race is on his mind, where he lost all that time and the backtracking it took him to go back to Palace 1 to get what was the magic container that led to the new consider requirements for the glove, and Palace 2, which is something he did before, after looking for a spell item that was really in a very windy maze island, and he had to go back to it a second time to find out it was something that wasn't good anyway. I guess we'll pick up the spell in Saria first and then find out.
Yeah, I had forgotten that he didn't get this spell yet. He's probably hoping that this is fairy, but... Joshy D saying that Magic 4 is a pretty bold choice, and I think that's a great observation because it points out sort of the two different leveling strats, the two primary leveling strats you see in this game. You want to talk more about that, Lair?
Yeah, Buzz is at life force, so I can't really say much about that because normally he would keep that low as well. But a majority of the runners would keep the life and magic levels low, so that when they can set themselves up to place the gem after every palace and maximize on getting the most XP for the next attack level until probably 6 or 7, most times 7, some runners 8, and then use the palaces and level ups to then do life and magic thereafter. Fairy, though, reduces its cost most of the time at Magic 4. Is that not correct? Well, has a better chance to do it.
Magic 3 is when I
Magic
usually
3?
see
Okay.
Fairy going down. So most runners will go up to Magic 3 and take a look and see what their Fairy costs are. And then for me, it's a decision of if Fairy is super expensive, then I'll probably start taking more levels. Otherwise, I might hold off a bit.
We are in 2.
Yep. Also a fair amount of keys in 2 to find, so certainly possible that he can get in here and find what he's looking for. Potentially. I think it's probably pretty safe to say that he's not terribly excited about hopping into Palace 5 at this particular moment, but...
No, and he explored the immediate caves in the first, the 2 entrances to Death Mountain, so... I mean, it is on his mind, don't get me wrong, but he's going to choose to do this, and I feel like this decision is based on his last race, without a doubt.
Speaking of Palace 5... Tristal's just gonna dive right in.
And why not? He'll grab a key there, and he'll, why not is because if the item's not there, he's gonna waste a lot of time, but...
Dripper check, we've got blue Stalfos as the Drippers this time, and oh wow. Very
attack
fast.
3, yeah, attack 3, life 4, Guma. He can place this gem. I know he was in Palace 1, and I know you marked he defeated Horsehead. He did not split, though. He definitely beat Horsehead?
Yes, he placed the gem.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely the if you want to equate it to another game, this is Triforce in the first room of 7 in Zelda 1. Get the Triforce, get the hell out of there, and never have to look back, hopefully.
Yeah, but you gotta be able to beat Guma with these stats, which is not an easy task.
No, you can afford a game over as well and still minimize your time in this palace. Not as effectively. Buzz found the item room in 2, but he needs a key.
Did he burn 2 keys just getting there? Wow.
Yeah, and I think he even turned away from one door, but that might have been after he burned the keys. Yeah, Tristal is doing everything he can. I think the health bar is broken on Guma. Unbeatable seed incoming.
I mean, if so we got Unos in chat pointing out that if you're this under-leveled and Guma is just right next to the beginning there, come back with some stronger levels. It'll save you some time, actually, probably in the long run, and some frustration.
And that is what Tristal's going to do. Up A's twice. Doesn't even up A to go then looking for the item. He just wants out altogether. Buzz finds the glove block room. So it's going in the right direction for either one of the two dead ends or Helmet Head.
Yeah, I don't think Buzz is even that concerned about Helmet Head right now. He's trying to find a key so we can get that item.
No, but it is knowledge in case he does find those keys. Knowing that he needs to come back with the glove and doesn't need to go through it now.
And here we go, Death Mountain.
Yep, that initial cave was the one with the ledges. So, just one path out.
I like this decision by Tristal here.
Oh, well, it's going to be the other entrance to Death Mountain that yields anything. Because that one goes right into the landlocked nation of whatever those ones are.
Joshy D likes to call those camping spots.
Lesotho, there we go. I remember what it was. Camping spots, all right.
I think.
One day we're going to arrive at a name for everything, and no one's going to know what the hell we're talking about.
Does anybody know what we're talking about right now?
No, I'm pretty much muted.
So Buzz found his key. He's going to go back to that item room and get whatever the heck that is.
Tristal remembers where the other entrance to Death Mountain is, and now he's going to explore. In and around this area. Buzz did take the time to look at all these caves initially. Tristal's going to do the same now.
I thought Buzz was going to the item room, but he's heading right now, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. Is he trying to pick up another key or Helmet Head? Well, we can get the Helmet Head and the item room without the glove.
Pretty lucky for Buzz. I mean, you don't want to have to come back to this palace. It's kind of large, actually. We have a rock sighting. Not terribly hard to get to.
He's considering it, but he, what would Dig Shake do is going on in his mind, and he's going to just place this gem. And we laugh, but as I mentioned earlier, he's on a quest to play faster, like you, and he has been arriving at slower times, and by making these different decisions. Mm-hmm. So we'll just see if the under leveling, if he somehow, because what is he going to do? He's going to go up A as soon as he finds his item. But maybe he can get it in this room. The required experience, but look what we find on Tristal's side.
Yeah, this is good news for Tristal. And we're making fun of Buzz for trying to play like me, but I think it's an interesting thing to note that there are different play styles to this game that do work. And if you want an example, just look at a player like me and Yunus, who actually have pretty different play styles to this game. In a lot of ways.
Jackamus takes every level as it comes.
Yeah.
Nurm grinds the drippers for an hour and a half. And he wins like every race.
Buzz is also, I mean, he's good at this game. He's not a bad Zelda 2 rando player, so.
Look what Tristal's greeted with in this room.
Just decides to tank it, though. I like that.
Yeah, there are only 2 enemies in this room, and he's clear of both of them.
All right. It's a good find.
Puzzle piece number 1. And possibly 2 if the kid materializes as something.
So whatever Buzz finds in here, I mean, unless it's something really good, like a glove or a spell item, he's going to be disappointed.
Glove, spell item that leads to something good eventually, magic key. Or horn if horn's required, but we're going to burn a key. No, he might have opened this one already.
Yeah, he's on his way back to the item room now, for sure. And this could be, an advantage for Tristal if he finds everything that he needs elsewhere and doesn't have to dig this item out of 2, then that's going to get him some time back.
Yeah, Sail to the east. Go grab some spells. Go grab, go grab some items in New Kasuto if you can get it. Or Maze Island, especially. Heart container.
Yep.
Now here's the thing. Like, now Buzz is caught. Buzz has to take the... he just up aid. I mean, he was right there. He just was 200 XP away and couldn't get it. And just burned 1,200 experience points. And I'm sure that's not that big of a deal. But if I was somebody who had to do that in a situation, like, I'd be pretty upset right now.
He's already at attack 4, so I'm not too concerned about losing that XP. But it's definitely kind of a bummer.
No, just in combination of wasting that time to get the heart container and having to burn 1,200 right after would probably do it for me. But
yeah,
again.
Yeah, the heart container would definitely make me salty.
How much were those blue Stalfoses? Because
they were only 20.
Okay. So there was no realistic way he could do that with any sort of haste.
So Tristal picked up the spell, maybe potentially useful. He can probably cast it now at Magic 4. There's our desert tile, and look at this, Buzz just going directly to Hammer Cave, so...
That was incredibly fast. What was the cave that connected Hammer Cave to the start?
There were 2 pretty big areas, so my guess is there were probably multiple options to get there. But
he had the boots. He just walked right around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him go through an elevator room too, I thought.
Oh, did you? Okay, so he got to an elevator room to do it, so. I was just curious what the decision making was on his end. See how he handles this guy? He casts shield because he casts shield in every room.
Did Tristal duck in that palace? I was updating the tracker and I missed it. Oh, it's Great Palace, okay. So we found Great Palace and either 3 or 6 so far.
Yeah, sorry, I was turning on the air conditioner. I wasn't able to answer you.
Gotta stay cool. It is really hot out there.
No, it was like freezing. I turned the air conditioner off and 3 minutes later it just gets to 90 degrees again. Alright. So yeah, 3 or 6 and Great Palace right now. Which leaves 4 and 3 or 6 either on Maze Island or the Valley of Death.
That right there, if that is an actual bridge encounter... Oh, it's a... Yeah, that's some good stuff. Fence encounter on the water.
I mean, I really can't ignore that.
Yeah, I know you were going to say something.
No, I'm trying. It's your channel. I should be polite. New Kasuto.
Go ahead, Larry.
No, we're in New Kasuto. Let's see how many heart containers it takes. 5? Never 5.
Not getting any item luck.
Well, Tristal tried to bang into that lava tile and took an encounter. Now has to be very careful here. Cast jump makes it out of there relatively easily. Gets a jar for his effort.
So, Buzz is going to pick up this spell here, and then it looked like there was another town right nearby. This is definitely a good one to find for Buzz.
Yeah, absolutely required.
So he's got 2 more free spells left. If they happen to be Reflect and Fairy, then he's set on the spells.
No? Because he didn't pick up spell, right?
Well, he didn't pick up spell, but, I mean, might not need spell. Still lots of other places to check. We got the water tile, we got Maze Island.
No, you're considering... Yeah, that's right. Okay. You're considering the kid free, because he has it already.
Oh, yeah, he does have the kid free.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, too.
Got a P-Bag Cave, though.
2 for 2 on these towns right here. And there's the hammer, another interesting item.
Should also be noted that if he does find fire, or either player finds fire, fire could be Reflect.
That's true. Fire has been mostly garbage recently, though, it seems like, as well. In fact,
there were a couple of seeds early on, or mid to late last week in Swiss round number 1, where fire was indeed Reflect, I think, both times that I remember.
I've not seen it be Thunder yet, which is kind of unusual. The water tile, pick up. More magic. I didn't see what fairy costs yet. 55 at Magic 3.
And there are still a great amount of places where the glove can be, including the second P-Bag Cave on the east, the P-Bag Cave on the west, underneath the rock in Death Mountain, both islands in Maze Island, the spell, right? I believe that's still in play.
Yep.
Palaces 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Tristal finding a nice little pass-through cave to nowhere. What was that palace? Oh, that's North Palace. Gosh.
That's North Palace, yeah.
Yeah. And this is the second P-Bag Cave, I believe. This is not the same one that Tristal found.
No, in fact, Buzz is doing a little bit of a different tour here on the east. Tristal finding the hammer where Buzz didn't, and Buzz finding the water tile where Tristal didn't. And now Tristal, in his up A, he's going right back to P-Bag Cave, and he might go to Death Mountain because he knows how to get to the rock as well.
He's going to find the medicine.
That could be garbage. Could be one of the Jack Link's beef jerky all-in moments. Although I don't think we're there yet.
What was that Buzz just picked up?
Trophy.
Trophy. Wow.
So we have all the spell items found, but one player continuing the search to find one, the other player up-Aing and going and getting the other. I think if either one has the wrong one, I think Buzz is in a better position because that cave is just an up-A away. Tristal now has to re-navigate and explore and find this cave, but it's right outside of Maze Island, so he's going to be in the air. Has to be in the area anyway.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And we got a flute sitting under the rock in Death Mountain, which is actually not a terrible pickup because we have seen that River Devil is guarding a path up north.
And do we know the path just doesn't lead to a dead end, though? Or is it...
It looked like it was going to go somewhere, but be interested to see if somebody tries it out.
I'm not sure Tristal meant to do that. Oh, he did. Okay. So what's on Tristal's mind here? He didn't check that rock. I would definitely be checking that rock up there because I need to know if it goes anywhere. But Palace 2?
He's going to go cash in the medicine.
Yeah, he's going to cash in the medicine.
Not a bad idea. If he gets the spells that he needs, then he doesn't even have to bother looking for trophy.
We're going to find out, not now, after Buzz gets the upstab, we're going to find out what exactly the spell is here in Darunia.
Tristal just dissed the health lady, talked to her, and then just walked away.
Yeah, I kind of like to do that as well. It's to make up for all the times in my life that I've been rejected or stood up.
Who would stand you up, Larry?
I mean, do you want names?
Hey, look at that.
So medicine leads to reflect.
And we know where everything is, except for the glove. I mean, everything to beat the game, that is.
Well, they still haven't found fire. Fire might be the glove.
Fire might be the glove?
Yeah, why not? It's a randomizer.
I was saving that for the next version.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but... And life in Darunia.
Oh, is that the life spell in Darunia? I was watching Tristal, I missed it.
So now if you Buzz, you're going to be looking for Kasuto. You're kind of looking for the glove here, the glove as well in Maze Island, but you're looking for Kasuto, hoping Kasuto has Reflect. But if it doesn't have Reflect, you're hoping that your trophy is Reflect, and then you don't have to go searching for the medicine. But lucky for him, if he ever arrives back on the Western continent, the cave is right there. So I mean, listen, it's right there, but how many items is he going to, item locations is he going to look for first before he turns around and just does that in Death Mountain?
Yeah. Well, and two, we know that his trophy's going to get him the fire spell, so, and that could also be Reflect, and so it might just even it out that way.
But not lost in all this, Tristal does not have Thunder. So it's not like he's free and easy.
No, he needs to go on that southern part of this continent and pick up the things that Buzz found down there.
Mm-hmm. Still waiting to find our first item here on Maze Island. And it's not in that branch. Oh, there it is. Got number 1. Oh. We didn't want number 1. It was the cross.
That was the magic container spot.
And that was.
So our location tracker is nearly full here, just the glove and the magic key remaining.
Hey, I saw somebody saying this is not 100% seed. They felt disappointed looking at you like quills. And what are we doing? We have everything located.
Well, did you notice that Tristal just cast fire he cast Reflect and started shooting fireballs, so...
Yeah, I did.
That's gonna be good news for Buzz, actually.
It depends on how fast he gets fire. Oh, he gets dig shaked right there.
Well, he's probably gonna go grab it right now, then.
Well, yeah, I mean, the frustration of finding the P-Bag as your second item in Maze Island after the cross. Wait, he does not have the hammer, though.
No, he did not find the hammer. The hammer was...
No, so he's got to go trade in the trophy.
Where was... Oh, that hammer was in P-Bag Cave.
No. P-Bag... the other P-Bag Cave, yeah.
Yep. So, fire / reflect here for Buzz. And, in terms of spells, he's set. He just needs to find the glove, and then he can start knocking out these palaces. These caves are not working out for Tristal at all. He's been trying to go through these pass-through caves. They've been taking him nowhere. Like, literally nowhere.
Well, I didn't recognize this, but it's easy to miss it. Did Buzz even take a pass-through cave? Because I think between both of them combined, we found every town, every palace, every location. Is it possible we have a Eastern continent that does not require anything but the boots to traverse?
Aren't we missing a palace? Or I guess we're not.
Valley of Death has...
Yeah, Valley of Death has either 3 or 6 in it, so...
And I don't know if Buzz banged in 4, right? 3 or 6 or 4. Was 4 on Maze Island?
4 was on Maze Island, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I was going to ask, because I don't remember if he did or not.
Buzz is going to go ahead and grab this spell. Did he check to see what fire was?
He doesn't have magic, so I would think he cast it at least once.
We're getting confirmation from chat that he does know that fires reflect.
Okay, because he hasn't... Alright.
So yeah, I guess it's interesting. Whatever is up north there, north of the River Devil or whatever, is just completely irrelevant. We don't need to go up there. So...
I don't remember colors. Tristal in 5 again?
Yeah, he's in 5 again, and he's going left, which means he's searching for the item.
Finds the porch. Grabs the key.
Oh, it was a dead end behind the River Devil. So the game doesn't even want you to go up there anyway.
I wonder if there's even a way up there. Or if it's just procedurally generated with just...
It's possible.
A landscape, but no way to get up there.
Buzz not even going to pick up the P-Bag that he finds in Kasuno.
3, 4, 5, or 6 is the glove.
Which, you know, makes this item hunting by Tristal seem like a not a bad idea, all things considered.
I think we have glove, 2 medicine, 2 magic jars, and the magic key.
Unfortunately, finding the one dead-end room in 5 that does not have a key in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as you see the dripper, you know to turn around. No, Buzz not knowing what's in this P-Bag cave, he's going to go explore.
This is the hammer. Doesn't really do much for him right now, but we'll probably see him check those spots anyway. Looking for the glove.
Up A instant? Yeah, up A instant. They're probably the most obvious play if you're Buzz.
Yeah, but, I mean, he knows that he doesn't need to cash in this medicine that he's about to find. So I don't think we'll even see him do that.
He's going to walk out and go to Death Mountain now. Actually, I don't know if he saw the rock, because he took a different path to find Hammer Cave than Tristal did.
It was right by Hammer Cave, though. It was not far away.
Having the boots, it makes it easier to possibly initially get to the right area, but yeah, I'm not too sure he's seen it.
Question in chat about whether Fire or Reflect is cheaper. I don't know which one's cheaper right now, but in general, Fire will be cheaper than Reflect. And look at this, Tristal finds... Oh my goodness.
Going back to your original question, if Tristal made a play in 5 other than other options available to him because he wanted a reason to get an advantage, well, this seed provided one.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think we're going to see Buzz hop into 5 like that. He's probably going to check 4 first, I would guess.
Right now, Buzz has to be seething because of his last race and then the combination of items in this race, and his practice races in between haven't been going that well as far as, like, being free.
He does have the spell advantage. Tristal has not found Fairy or Thunder yet, if I'm... Yeah, well, just look at the tracker. He's not found Fairy or Thunder yet.
Buzz has also not found the Desert Tile, I believe, and both items... No, he found the Heart Container and P-Bag and Yukasudo, so it's just the Desert Tile for him, and then Palaces 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So this is interesting. Buzz, I don't know. I guess I give Buzz a slight lead right now. He's got more gems and more spells, but the knowledge that Tristal has, does that even that out, you think?
I mean, traversing the east was not hard. So if Tristal could find his way, you know, when he goes back to the east, if he can just... He's banging out of the Goomba fight again, so he's not going to give that a go. So he's wasting a little bit of time there. He's probably going to go into 2 now.
Which is up north, correct?
Buzz makes sure that's a dead end by going through every single tile in the road. Right to the end. But back to your question, it didn't look like the east was that hard to navigate. As long as Tristal knows what direction he did not explore in initially, he's going to walk right into those caves. And they're all right there. I mean, not caves, palaces. They're all right there, especially Maze Island.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what caves not to go into, all of them. He knows not to do the River Devil. So it's just a matter of walking, Dragon Warrior style, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Buzz take a cave through. So you, Buzz, what are you looking for right now? The Desert Tile? I mean, I guess that's the only thing you're looking for. Because you've seen everything else.
I think you might be headed to 4. I'm not sure.
Could be. 4 was on Maze Island, though.
So, it does look like the only way to get down to Valley of Death in those 2 towns, and Maze Island for that matter, is to take that river straight down after the raft spot. You can't go around from the eastern part of the continent.
No, Buzz finds the Desert Tile that has the Heart Container. So now that should narrow it down pretty, well, a lot in his mind. Yeah, 25% chance it's in any of the palaces he's not gone through yet. Those are the only item spots left. Yep. So, palace right there, go in. It seems logical.
You know, if I put myself in Buzz's shoes, I don't think that I would disagree with this move at all. Although he's having second guessing himself about this.
Key door and being nurtured in the randomizer era where a glove could never be in 3 or 6. might lead him to think that that's not even a valid play.
Oh, he knows that it can be, though.
No, I know he knows it can be, but the likelihood of it in his mind being in from an era where it could never exist to now, and how many times has he seen it since, probably realizes that maybe the percentages are it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find 4. Let me go to 4.
So we're tying up the gem count right now. Really, Tristal is just behind a couple of spells. And a few items that we know he doesn't need. He's gonna go back into 2... You think he's worried about the trophy?
No. I'm thinking maybe... Like, I would like to say Magic Key, because he's got 4 more palaces left. But he's also got that level that he didn't take at the gem.
Oh, it could be the level,
So,
yeah. Especially with his Guma experiences so far, he probably would like some more attack. In fact, he's exploring places he's already been, so I think he probably is doing a little grinding here.
And you got that initial first room. I would just leave and come back in. Oh, I'm sorry. He got a pee bag in that first room, so it wasn't that beneficial.
I think the item in 2 was also a pea bag, or was it a heart container?
Heart container. But without Fairy, without the magic key, how many keys is he going to exhaust just to arrive at the item room?
Yeah.
I'm really thinking that this is a... Maybe not. I did not see what Buzz got there. It's probably a magic container.
Looks like it was a magic container, yes. Well, he's not killing stuff, so maybe he actually is looking for this item.
Yeah, it could be several things. It could be looking for the magic key. It could be worried that it's the trophy. Or it could be just on the fact that, hey, listen, I know Gooma's kicking my ass right now. If it's a magic container or a heart container, that can go a long way for survivability.
Yeah. Very fast Palace 4 for Buzz, so...
Tristal gets his level and then gets bodied by the blue nut knuckle. He's going to try again. He's going to get that key. Buzz is going back into 4, but we know.
He's grinding.
Oh, is he? Okay. Is that why Countess says Buzz no in all capital letters, like he's yelling at the TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this all stems from Palace 2.
What would Dig Shake do?
Right. And it only works like once. And then when you have to find yourself at that decision again, now you're going to be wasting a little bit more time. This is... Like, I watch probably Buzz more than... Well, maybe I watch you more, but more than anyone else, because we're buddies. And I know this is what he goes... And I tease him about this. This is what he goes through when he tries to go faster. He does things to go faster, and then does things slower because he did things to go faster that now he has to compensate for.
Well, he's going to walk out of here with attack 6, so...
Yeah, he got finally had to go back and get the required XP to place this gem, but... You don't know what your opponent's doing. Got an alien in chat.
And Tristal is still in 2. Just, you know, I would have put him slightly in the lead after he found that glove, but now with all this time in 2, I think probably Buzz has the edge here. Once again. Depends on how long it's going to take him to dig that glove out of 5, I suppose. And how much time he spends looking for it in 3 or 6 if he decides to do that.
Well, it's interesting. It's It's interesting to figure out or try to find out from Tristal what his intent here was. Was it trophy, magic key, luxury, combination of if I get one of any of them?
I wonder, I don't mean this as a slight to Tristal in any way, but a lot of newer players to Randomizer just want to find everything, Like there's an item there, I'm going to go get it. So I wonder if it's maybe a little bit of that playing into it. He does give up though, and leave, so that's the absolute correct decision. Buzz is going into 6.
Okay. No, I thought we were being corrected that Tristal did beat Guma, but I believe he tried it one more time, realized it wasn't happening, and then just shook his head and left.
And you can see the look on Tristal's face as he goes down this river. He is, the light bulb just went off.
In my house, it's a dry erase board where I just write your name over and over again. Every single time something like that happens. The guys who frequent my stream love it.
Yeah.
Especially when I turn around to, well, whatever. Choke knows what I'm talking about.
And so an update from Buzz here. He's got 3, 6, and 5 left, and it looks like he might be on his way to 5.
I mean, he's already checked 4. Again, I really think that he thinks 3 and 6 are going to be last-ditch efforts because of the way he used to play this game. I think 5 is just the next logical place in his mind where it could be. If it's in 3 or 6, the game got him. But to him, it's absolutely in 5 right now. Meanwhile, Tristal picks up Thunder and Yukasudo and the Heart Container, and then he's going to go to the Spell Tower and find the that he's just been dick shook.
That's my new show coming out on MTV3 this fall.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, you'd probably yell at the TV the whole time.
I'd probably live tweet during it, actually. Can we make something like that? Can you do something regularly once a week? But there's the gross 200-point P-Bag.
Tristal is, in fact, full Dig Shake plus or minus a Fairy spell, which we may or may not be needed. We have not confirmed that just yet.
We've we excluded it from 5, but not 6.
Certainly makes you feel a little bit better to have it than not.
Yeah, but is he going to just stop looking for things, or is he like, he didn't need to go to the Spell Tower there?
Nope.
But he went to the Spell Tower because it's there.
Yep.
And if it's the magic key, it helps. If it's not, then time wasted. But hindsight.
Yep.
Is this going to stop him in Maze Island? Is it going to stop him in, when he walks by the water tile?
It very well might. And in some cases, you bring up the water tile. If I see the water tile, I might just pop in and grab it because that takes 2 seconds. But walking all the way down to the end of Nukasudo and back takes a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I'm basically just reading from a list of places left. But there is also, he never went back to. He didn't get to the item in 2, then 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 6. Mm-hmm. So, where does he stop with the mentality of there's an item here, let me go get it? But Buzz did something he could not do. Tristal could not do right there.
Yeah.
And that's beat Guma and place the gem. But wait, it doesn't get worse. BuzzThunder is going back to look for the item. Yep.
That's the right play to make. And so he's got a commanding gem lead here too. Tristal needs to get these palaces taken care of ASAP.
Mm-hmm. And the analogy from before comes full circle. We left level 6, level 7 with the early Triforce, and guess what? Now we have to come back and get the ladder. And Buzz got the early Guma kill and didn't fall for it. He comes back knowing it's absolutely one of the places the glove has been narrowed down to. and makes the correct call. Eventually, we don't know. He may run into a little trouble on the way and decide, screw it.
I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen either, but we've seen people play this game on a little bit of salt, get into a little trouble, and then just quit up altogether. So, I mean, like up A and do something else. Will he? No. All right, where's Tristal going here? Maze Island?
He'll find Maze Island soon. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm betting he's gonna find those items in there. Just the way he's been playing makes me think that he's just kind of checking it all, you know.
I mean, this might be one of the reasons why I'm having trouble now, where I haven't, you know, in the past, is I've started not checking items.
Well, he didn't check that pea bag cave, so...
No, well, that's a good sign right there.
He might be checking some of these desert tiles just to pick up some pea bags and snag a few extra levels on his way to these palaces.
Avoiding counters also is a possibility. Question in chat, are Eastern pea bags now in the item mix? And the answer is it's an option that mostly we turn on and have not turned off yet. And that's to include the pea bag cave in the west and the 2 in the east, thereby including 3 additional items into the mix of the lesser variety, the pea bags, red jars, or 1-ups, little diggers. So for the tournament, that option is on all the time, but it's at the player's discretion whether they want it on or not. Not player in the tournament, but casually, I should say.
And there it is. Buzz finds the glove. That's going to put him in full dig shake here. In fact, both runners full dig shake. He's just got 3 and 6 left to go, and they're both right next to each other, pretty much. And Gray Pals is not much farther away than that, so his path is very clear. Tristal's very close to 4. I think we'll probably see him do that.
He might actually get this spell here.
Well, it's the life spell, and that might be, you know, for a newer player, is probably a welcome sight.
Oh, absolutely. All right, we're in 3. So Buzz is going to be in go right only mode here in these next 3 caves, next 3 palaces. And
it looks like Tristal is just going to comb this Maze Island for those 2 items, based on the way he's moving around.
I don't want to take anybody's skill, not skill, but knowledge for granted. Tristal knows you can ferry through doors, right?
I'm sure he does, yeah.
Okay. And that's not a slight. It's just I don't know if he does know, and maybe that would lead to him looking for these extra items, hoping that it's the magic key.
Yeah, we have not found the magic key. We know it's got to either be in 3 or 6 at this point. I don't think we're going to see anybody go out of their way to find it. No,
especially when Buzz finds Rebanek here. Lance Hesh Pla. Is that, did I get that right? Did I nail that? I nailed that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Do you remember that story? Why it's named Lance Hesh Pla?
I think it's got something to do with a guy that used to hang out with us all the time and has since disappeared.
It's actually one of the worst stories I've ever heard in my mind. It translates to guy on horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very upset to hear that. I thought it was going to be some slang. I was going to learn some new words, maybe call you it, but no, it didn't work out that way. Bus does not have the cross. Oh, it does have the cross. Okay. That's right. It was on Maze Island. Yeah, we all miss Ness Martin and wish he was here.
So Tristal finds that magic jar in 4. I mean, you kind of run into it on your way, but if I remember correctly, Arok is not going to be far behind.
No, but where does Buzz have to go here to find Barba? Take the first available right, because why not? And possibly Fairy was going to be a requirement, although both runners do have it now.
Nope. That's not going to do it.
Not at all. Up A. Save yourself some time. There you go. Quick work with Karok as well for Tristal. Gem number 3 incoming. 2 cycles the key.
So when are we going to see a Guma refight here, do you think? You going to save it for last?
The problem is, yeah, because you got 2 other palaces on this continent first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go over there, but then you have to return to this continent as well. Maybe it is best to go over there first. This way you're only making... Well, you're still making the same amount of trips? 1 to 2... Yeah, you're making the same amount of trips.
Well, if you get 5 knocked out, then you just take the raft over. 3 and 6 are right there.
Or you can take the levels you get in 3 or 6 and then use that to beat Guma.
Mm-hmm.
Because you failed. You know, it's a pretty difficult fight the first 2 times you tried it.
Yeah, 3 is not a bad palace to clear at all. Pretty straightforward.
What kind of emotes do you have here? Let's see. Put a bean in the jar. There we go.
A bean in a jar.
A bowl, sorry. Didn't mean to offend ceramics experts around the world.
It looks like he might be on his way to 3.
Can we talk about that bridge, the Wilson encounter in the water for a second?
Go ahead, Larry. I've been waiting.
So the river, the water writes itself over existing terrain, and it just happened that the road was put down first?
Yeah, it looks like the road and the river overlapped with one another in this particular case. And the road gets written first, and the river gets written second, so...
Okay.
That's what happened there.
So, patching it later on tonight?
I'll have to think about that one.
Actually, I kind of like it.
It doesn't really bother me.
No, it's an alibi. I mean, I can use it as a scapegoat. So, certainly no complaints here. Buzz is going to go left in this room. Did he drop down that room? Did it loop within itself? Is that why his decision is to go left here?
I'm not sure, actually. He has explored a large portion of this palace, so...
He's going to be out of magic here soon. Cast Fairy here, go down. Probably be greeted with a door to the right, yeah. So... You know, this brings up a good point. There was a bridge yesterday, and I know I mentioned it at least 7 times already, that really triggered me, and I need to take a screenshot of it.
Triggered?
Yeah, exactly. I did. Don't worry, guys. I was watching. I'm everywhere.
I'd like to see you guys go out into a fictional universe and build a bridge.
Who, me and Eunice? We can do that. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll coordinate with him later on Discord.
Tristal starting to close this gem gap here. I'd be interested to see where he goes next. 5 and 6 are his last 2 options. And we found Barba here on Buzz's side. Looks like Tristal's gonna hop into 6.
I'm perusing the list of races from the first round, and I can only know of one for sure where there has been a, at least in your face, way of declaring one racer who was behind, who wound up winning because of how Great Palace was randomized.
What race was that?
Kaunis and Riku.
Oh, okay. I remember that race, yeah.
And I think that's the only one there, and that's because Kaunis thought he might have been upstab blocked or jump blocked, or jump blocked, I think it was.
I think we'll see more of that once we get into the larger Great Palaces. But on the short Great Palace settings, I think it's kind of tricky to come back from behind unless you are very, very close going in.
Neck and neck, or a Great Palace that just has one drop that leads you where you have to go, and then the rest of it just goes nowhere. Other than that, it's got to be really disastrous for something like that to happen. Game overs could play a factor in too, but I believe the runners have to be within 5 minutes of each other entering Great Palace for the biggest chance for that to happen without a unfortunate disaster.
Yeah.
Just made up stats, they're awesome.
Yeah, it sounded good to me.
No one's going to correct me because
if you said something really dumb, I would have corrected you,
man.
but it was pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not reading the responses anyway.
Are there people watching this right now?
I don't. My chat, it's not moving. Palace 6 here, simultaneous with Buzz in Great Palace. See how big this Great Palace is. We enter from the top and we go down right into the Dark Magician room.
Oh god. Are we allowed to name a room after somebody if it wasn't part of a tourney race? Is that?
I don't know, man. That was so funny. He was complaining about this room and then the room gave him trouble again. Funny because it wasn't me. But it is the waffle room that does have the jar. No King Bot this time. And here we go.
Early T-Bird, yeah.
Early T-Bird means potential disaster later on. Buzz does not have enough magic. Magic 3.
Yeah, and this is somewhat controversial strat that Buzz likes to use. He just does not put anything into magic coming off of T-Bird. He likes getting the magic refill off of the experience that T-Bird drops.
That wouldn't be a bad thing, except T-Bird's in the second room, and I'd probably, if I had to waste a life there, I probably would have just up 8.
Well, if you drop a life to refill magic, then it's kind of a wash, isn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. But if he takes the magic level and then continues on his way, I probably would have just not. Let's see what happens. I mean, I would automatically up A here. Okay, Buzz does. Just the life back is worth it more. than the little bit of time you're going to save there. Imagine how far you go in for that game over, not having that extra life.
I guess that's something for me that depends on maybe a little bit who my opponent is. If I'm racing Unos, I'm not obeying right there. I'm going.
Kidding me? If I'm racing Unos, I'm done already.
Wow.
Well, because he's done already.
Shots fired.
Well, I mean, we have a bridge to go make. So neither of us has time to putz around. And I mean done by I've already forfeited. Nice little bridge room here. Nice and free. See, Dan H has the right attitude.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of right attitude...
Oh, God. Oh, BuzzThunder.
He faked it. That was just for you. Why didn't he put a picture of you? I was really expecting Inflatable Dick Shake to show up on my screen there.
Unfollowed.
And it's funny, he messes around there. Magic Key was in 6, by the way. He screws around there, but little does he know, he's going to have to come back and go down there. Unless this is Fairy Room, because Fairy Room would trump the need to go through that room, but it's not. Jar Room into Elevator Room into Fun Room. So there's 2 paths there, down in the Eon Drop, and then left in the Elevator Room. Gonna go down here. And it's a Theater Room. Right-hand turn. We have not seen either of the 3 dead ends here to the right. Could this be our first one?
Nope.
It is not. Fairy Room. Oh, could this be a potential seed that's not left in Fairy Room and or Eon Drop?
That happens all the time.
See, Buzz doesn't know what he's doing. He's checking the seed number there. Making sure he's playing the right one. Goes down, finds a Waffle Room, doesn't check up. Believe we had a race. Double A checked down, and so did Zarnax maybe, or Nurm. And it was the Waffle Room, and they decided to go up instead. And it led them to faster finishes. But Waffle Room translates into another Fun Room.
We have not taken a single drop yet, which is kind of interesting.
And we've only seen 1. And no dead end rooms as well. And only 1 of the elevator rooms.
I gotta feel like there's a loop in here somewhere.
Here's another elevator room right there. Can't be looping around on the path we've been going on, but certainly there's going to be a nice big long loop. There's a dead end. And since we're in the elevator room, we're just going to go left here. Up A brings you to the Eon Drop within 4 rooms. But if you want to walk back from, if this is the little digger, it's going to be quite a ways. Here's another elevator room with a way up. Still no potential loop.
It goes right.
Yeah, false floor room. And it does go right. One of the 2 dead end rooms found.
There's
no one piece. Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, and there's a couple of rooms that do have elevators that go down as well from them, going to the right hand room, or could be. Gonna go left. Little digger, maybe?
Or are we possible. Looking for? Could be a drop.
Drop room. Drop room is kind of what I'm looking at here.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Gotta feel like that's a good sign.
I mean, you haven't seen a room. You know it's not going to fall behind Thunderbird, and you haven't seen a room to drop into yet. This is the one without the no jar room. And no jar room into double 360 fakey Darklink. It's playing a little Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. And Buzz is 1 Darklink fight away from a 1-1 record here.
And that's going to do it. BuzzThunder with the win. He takes a time of 1:22:38. So pretty good time there from Buzz. Sub 90 is always a good time on these flags. Yeah, especially for Glove in 5 too, as Nirm points out. Oh, and he's gonna treat us all to a little victory celebration here.
Not sure. I think this is gonna get flagged.
Is this
I'm not sure.
Is this allowed?
It's gonna get flagged. I'm not allowed to put this on the official playlist. He's butchering the playlist right now. He's sabotaging it. It's gonna make me do extra work and editing it out.
Well,
sing along, everybody. You all know the words.
Come on, Buzz. So there's Palace 6 for Tristal. He looks like he's going to finish this one out, and he's not that far behind. We know Guma is, right there next to start, so he's going to be entering Great Palace here in the next few minutes.
Martin, I don't even know how to pronounce that guy's name, but there's a guy in chat that says more races tonight, and there are actually 3 of them. The first one being the Countess versus, I'm just going to make up names here, somebody. at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Then it's Scorpion Max versus Zarnax at the next directly after that. And then you have a race on, it's Jackamus Wedge, by the way. It's Countess versus Jackamus Wedge tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is I think that's 2 o'clock on Melmac, 2 a.m. on Melmac. Then Scorpion Max versus Zarnax after that, and then you have a race tonight as well on your channel.
Yeah, I'll be restreaming Joshi D versus Dr. J at midnight 15
Eastern time. That is I think that's.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Buzz.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great. Congrats on the win.
Athlete's foot, but it's a whole thing, so congratulations.
What's that?
I have athlete's foot, but it's a whole big thing. Just watch the VOD.
Oh, okay. I will.
So how'd that seed go for you? It looked like you might have been getting a little frustrated there for a moment.
Yeah, a little. There was only that one time where, I don't know, for some reason I misread the entrance to Palace 3 and thought it was Palace 6. As far as the down elevator into a locked right turn, for some reason I thought that meant it was Palace 3, but that was wrong. And then that's what I was looking for. I was like, okay, I'm going to go into Death Valley and check Palace 3 real quick, because I figured if the item, maybe the glove is in there. If it's not, I will find out really quickly and then can go into 5. But then when I found out it was 6, I didn't really want to start walking around in 6. So that was the only real moment in the race I thought where I kind of hesitated and kind of didn't do the routing. But other than that, I think I did it about as linear as possible as far as finding all the opener, easier items. It's just that unfortunately couldn't find the right ones.
Yeah. Oh, and it ended up being a great race towards the middle there, because Tristal found the glove a lot earlier than you did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he dove into 5 earlier than I think most runners would, and it paid off big time for him. So
yeah, I was considering it, but then I was just like, no, I'll just stick with it and play my game.
Yeah, and your experience with the palaces and combat definitely helped you take over this race towards the second half here. You caught up very quickly and never really looked back after you did find the glove. So,
hey Buzz, Angry Larry here. I got 2 questions for you.
Sure.
First one being your initial foray into Palace 2. Well, your only foray into Palace 2. After defeating Helmet Head, you were kind of like torn on your leveling your XP. But then you went to go look for a key and look for the item. Is that because of last race you didn't want to leave there without the item?
Not really. It was probably more about the fact that I didn't have the raft yet, and I knew where the item was because I mean, geez, Palace 2 and Palace 1, I spent forever in there. I mean, that's definitely in the back of my mind as far as you know. I know that cost me a lot of time and was a bad decision in that race. But yeah, that might have something to do with it. But I think mainly it was just I was looking for the raft.
And the other question I think you covered already, the whole decision to go into Palace 5 over 3 and 6. Any part of that, though, based on how you learned this game early on with the older logic where it could never be in 3 or 6, were you playing percentages there because of that?
Basically just glove block, really, because the opportunity for the item to be glove blocked is there. Also, 6 can be kind of a hassle too. That's why I initially was like, oh yeah, I can poke my head into 3 and figure out what I can do in there and what I can't in a very short amount of time. Where 6 is not going to give you that. So yeah, 5, I know I can get the item and just went ahead and did it. And 4 and 5 were some of the easier layouts I've ever seen for those. I mean, especially 4. I don't think 4 could have been shorter.
Yeah, you go right, you find the item, and then you go down and right, and there's Karak.
Yeah, that was probably the quickest stuff for full clear 4 I've ever done. I mean, as far as getting the item bolt and the boss.
Any regret to not having inflatable Dig Shake queued up when you were standing over the Eon drop taunting Dig Shake?
Is that what I was doing there?
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I should have put an inflatable Dig Shake image up there or something like that. That would have been good. But no, I was definitely doing a little bit of a fanfare there. I was like, make everybody think I'm going to take this Eon drop right away. But no, that's not how I search Great Palace. And I think I actually took a pretty good path through Great Palace. I found a couple dead ends, but for the most part, I went the correct way.
Yeah, when you have to look for that left-hand drop room, it makes things a little tricky because you're not usually trying to go in that direction. So,
yeah, I mean, I was at the point where I found it. I was just kind of stuck down there. There wasn't. It was like either like, well, I'm going to up A if I find a dead end, or just finding the drop, but just go ahead and with it, and it turned out to be the correct one.
You want to talk about that encounter on the river?
I did do that. I entered it a couple times just to kind of enunciate that, and again, I knew that Larry was going to be upset about that.
He's been surprisingly restrained, actually. I've been waiting for the onslaught.
Yeah. It's not my channel, so it's not up to me. I have to show respect to the proprietor of this organization.
That's very interesting. So that comes from doesn't the water like spawn on top of where the road should be or something like that? Like it could have read that as a road or a river.
Yeah, the road and the water overlapped in this particular case, which the odds of that happening is pretty darn small. But in this,
I don't think I've seen that before. Honestly, I mean, I've seen a lot of weird things, but I don't think I've seen that.
VOD Valley of Death a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen it on a bridge.
I actually have seen a road and a bridge tile spawn like off the coast by Maze Island when you're walking up and around the mountain. I've taken a standard bridge encounter on the water up there.
Yeah,
you have two. You have two.
I need to be a little bit more careful about how I check for those.
Nah, screw it. It's the element of surprise. You know, if somebody can't handle that, then fight me IRL.
Yeah, as long as I'd never have a problem with it. I appreciate little things like that. It's it's part of the fun of the randomizer. As long as it does doesn't break the game, but there's nothing wrong with it personally. But I'm sure it bothers you, Dig Shake.
Not as much as you might think. I mean,
So,
wall skeletons have been a thing since day one, and I'm never taking those out. So
yeah, I think you should get rid of that personally.
Oh man.
Nah, you know what? You want that experience? Go find Thunder, BuzzThunder. Come back for it.
No, I'm fine with the skeletons in the ceiling. That's fine with me.
Unofficial mascot of the Zelda 2 randomizer.
I think it's official at this point, isn't it?
About as official as it can be.
Straw poll.
It's officially unofficial.
Straw poll.
Well, we got Tristal actually finding Dark Link right here, so he's going to be finished up in just a few minutes. A great run for him. Could have gone the other way, honestly. Like, there was a point there where I was, the scales were tipped in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, just talking to him, he seemed like I don't know if he was joking or not. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was just going to concede this race or something like that." But yeah, it looks like he did very well under the circumstances because that was almost a 100% seed, and to do that around 90 minutes is not an easy thing to do.
It was almost 100% except for
well,
most...
I guess it was 100% for me, not for him, because if he found the glove earlier, he didn't do half the searching that I did.
No, he still did, and that's why the time was in his favor, your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ultimately what cost him the races, that he didn't really stop looking for stuff.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
But, I mean, you know, most of you'd said it was 100% seed, and it was almost 100%, but most of the stuff you needed was on the overworld. You weren't digging it out of palaces, so...
yeah, I really only... 1 and 2 just took me forever, because I took all the wrong turns and didn't have keys and stuff like... But other than that... What, I just like found a couple pea bags that I didn't need.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't even see the item. I found the item room in 6, I think, and just left.
It was a magic key. Tristal grabbed that one.
Yeah, I was almost thinking maybe I should get it just because I was grabbing keys everywhere. There's a bit of a key drought in the beginning. It's weird how that sticks in your mind. Like when early that happens in the first 2 palaces, then I'm like, man, I should be grabbing every single key, even though I had fairy and probably didn't need them all, but... There was definitely some key blocking.
Yeah. I don't know if Tristal is going to come join us or not. Let me give him an invite here on IRC.
Let me ask you, Larry, you put a quote earlier from YouTube in my channel. Was that entirely fabricated?
No, you can go on youtube.com/AngryLarryGaming. I don't think that's actually works, and see that quote for yourself. That actually happened.
Wow.
I have a positive community. People contribute in a positive way.
Looks like Tristal is here with us. I don't know if you can hear us right now, but if you can, welcome, Tristal.
Hey, thank you.
That was a great run, actually. I know you didn't get the win, so that's too bad, but you still put up a fantastic time. Is that a PB for you?
Almost 19 minutes, actually. So, yeah, a lot of things really clicked for me on this run. It was nice.
That's awesome. Couple questions. You went into 5 a few times, actually, and found Guma right away. That's not actually my question, though. My question was about digging that glove out of there. What was your thought process when you decided to hop in and find that item?
Definitely fist pump there. I mean, I had actually kind of lost my way on the eastern continent. I didn't notice that river that went south. So I was kind of like just in a daze looking for whatever I could to make things work. And it just so happened to be exactly the item I felt I needed.
Yeah, that was a really nice pickup. My other question was about Palace 2. You did 2 after you found the glove. You were looking for the item. I was just wondering what you were hoping to find there.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking was basically it. I know I still had like a few things left, like Magical Key would have been kind of nice, I guess, because it was early enough still. But yeah, I really shouldn't have bothered looking for the item once I had killed Horsehead there.
Yeah. Well, I think, I hope you go back and watch this VOD and see. I mean, I was putting you in the lead after you found that glove. You were actually ahead at that point. So if you had just put the pedal to the metal and stepped on the gas and gone for it, it would have been a much closer race at the end.
Yep, slowly but surely I am learning. So yeah. Eventually I'll get better and better every time, I think.
Well, hey man, keep putting up times like this and you're going to be very competitive in your last 2 rounds, and you still got a chance too. You can make it to the play-in race and still proceed on to the bracket if you win your next two matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. You got anything, Larry?
No, you asked both my questions. No, it was still a fantastic time. and everything. Guma did give you a little bit of trouble. Did you have like I guess if I had to ask a question, did you have like a moment where you're like, all right, am I going to do everything else first, then come back for Guma? Is that what you ruled on?
So the first time I fought him at attack 3, I was basically like, if this works, I'm going to be way ahead of what I normally do. And then the HP meter wasn't really going down, and I was kind of like, all right, well, I might try this one more time, but that's not going to work for me. And then later when I came back at attack 4, I was so close on experience that if I killed Goma, got the experience from him, leveled up, and then grabbed the gem, I would have been so far ahead on levels compared to where I was. So I figured it was still worth a try, but not being able to kill him when I had like 800 out of 840 experience. I probably shouldn't have even bothered the first time I died. I should have just gone right back out, tried to get a level, and done something else. But if it all worked out, it would have been really nice.
No, even how it turned out, the time was still fantastic for the Siege, sure. Especially Glove in 5, and you killed that. We were actually wondering if you wanted to take the chance early when you found 5 to do it, but you already answered that with the losing your way into on the Eastern Continent and stuff like that. Arrived you at that decision, but no, still a fantastic timing, and good luck on your next 2 races.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I know we already kind of covered this, but just to reiterate, we've got 3 more races coming up tonight. We got Jackamus versus Countess coming up in just a little over an hour, or less than an hour, on Angry Larry's channel, so you're probably going to go get set up for that. And then, what was the second one you're doing, Larry? I don't remember.
Scorpion Max versus Zarnax.
Oh, right. That's going to be a fantastic matchup, actually. 2 very good runners going head-to-head. And then I'll be covering Joshy D versus Dr. J at 12:15 this evening. So still a lot more rando racing left to come. I think that's probably going to do it for this one, though. You got any parting words for us, Larry?
I do not. I might have some later on tonight, so stick around.
Alrighty. Well, I hope to see you all over at Angry Larry's channel here in just a little bit. Thanks for joining me, Larry. Congrats, Buzz, and looking forward to seeing you in the next round, Tristal. We'll see you next time.